Okay.
I'm going to make you the host. Let's see how to do that. I'm not sure how to do that on participants. Make host, and I'll just do a quick introduction. So I'll start the video. I'm here in a car with David and no audio. We're moving some audio equipment. But so yeah, here with Blockchain for Ecology with Sam Barnes. Really inspired and excited to learn about yielding DeFi fruit. Sam is founder of DeFi Network, but DEPHI, Decentralized Philanthropy. He was co-founder of Reach NFT with me and Gentry. It was a really good time. And really, he's a B4E Web3 steward who's just here to guide us. And if you want more after this, Sam will give us his contact information so you can learn how to make some fruit, some cryptocurrency yield. So take it away, Sam.
Thank you so much, John. Yeah, happy to be sharing some of the fruit of my labor of this year. You know, John and I have been working together, exploring from really a place where I think a lot of us were at the start of this year, being Web3 novices. You know, I had utilized cryptocurrency a lot in 2016 and 2017. I had bought 2 Bitcoin. I had profited. I had actually put that money towards a graduate degree in environmental science and policy. And so I think you can start to see the intersection of our work, which is that we are determined to leverage these novel tools, both financial, technological, security, data and machine learning, all of these amazing solutions that the decentralized ledger technologies present on behalf of the mission critical projects here on planet Earth. So that's decentralized philanthropy. That's an incubation. You know, I'm working with an established chain, and John's well acquainted as well. An established project that is adding a security layer to Web3. And so basically, I've spent a lot of the past it's about to be 2022. So the past year now really immersed in this technology. And I've learned a lot. And I'm really excited to share just a little introduction on how you go from being a speculator in cryptocurrency, which is what we're doing. As long as we're relying on the price to go up, and that's our hope and dream, we're speculating on cryptocurrency, to being a user of cryptocurrency. And that is when you take your money off of the centralized custodial exchanges and wallets, whether it be Coinbase, Binance, KuCoin, crypto, FTX. Those are just the huge ones. There's a million others. And bring it into the decentralized, anonymous, or pseudonymous web, and then interface with a whole suite of websites and decentralized applications that are going to pay you for your attention to their project. You know, and that's what decentralized finance is. Basically, you're providing as a user liquidity for these ventures to do their thing. And in the past year and a half, really, since the famous summer of DeFi, 2020, DeFi summer, when it really got kickstarted on the Ethereum blockchain, a whole thousands of projects from people all around the world of every level of quality have come out. So just give me a minute while I move downstairs. And John, I want to pass it back to you for a little bit. Actually, I'll stay right where I am. Just trying to not take up too much audio space in my home. But John, I would love to pass it back to you on basically where you think the intersection of DeFi and DeFi. I've cheekily named it and came up with it on a call with you, Connors. The same homonym, with a very different meaning, of course. The intersection between decentralized finance and decentralized philanthropy.
Great question, bud. So I think it really landed for me the other day when we spoke, and you were telling me about using some of these yielding strategies to potentially create a bail fund for, people that are imprisoned for, nonviolent drug crimes, for instance. So I can see us, really we're building upon what we did with Regen NFT, which is create NFTs and sell them specifically for social impact causes, one of which was, ending the drug war based initiatives. But, if we could do some of the strategies you share with us today, and pool our resources and deploy our resources, whether it be in a decentralized autonomous organization or whatever organizational format works, deploy some cryptocurrency capital and make fruit, make yield, and create like a DDoS attack on the prison industrial complex. You know what I mean? Because it's just like if I know I have legal care, I might start selling mushrooms. You know what I mean? Straight up, because there's just no reason why anyone should be in prison for nonviolent drug crimes in the United States of America. So what you're talking about with DeFi Network is really the next level, and I'm super inspired to learn more about the how.
Awesome. Yeah. So basically, as I nurture this vision, and I love, $Bail is a strong contender for being one of the first LP pools that would be available, on the DeFi network, where, you would provide liquidity with the native token and the ecosystem token, whether we launch on Avalanche, Polygon, one of the new Polkadot layer ones like Akala, or even Celo. There's a lot of options, or something on the Cosmos hub. You would be able to pair the ecosystem token with the DeFi token and then pool it and use that money. And what is the result that we're getting on the other end? Fucking people out of jail. Right now, all that's called liquidity providing. That's happening on 1,000 different protocols, and they're adding 200 to them every week. It's happening. It's growing quickly. Liquidity providing, staking, farming, yielding. And so I'm just going to stay conceptual for another minute, and then we'll go to the walkthrough. And I just want anyone who hears this to envision what could be done if that liquidity, instead of going to yet another, it's basically we're doing DeFi to finance DeFi. Like 90% of these projects that are being financed through liquidity providing, pooling and staking are further applications. They're layer 3s on the layer 2s. They're layer 2s on the layer 1s. And and yes, it's wonderful because it's an economic engine par excellence that has the potential to redistribute wealth in a more meaningful way than any technology any of us have ever been alive to see, perhaps that has ever existed. And so there's an inherent value in learning this stuff. Just DeFi doing DeFi is great, but imagine if we could apply all of that energy, liquidity, and brilliant technology, these very well architected smart contracts, to alleviating the mission critical species wide objectives, lending capital to these critical projects that are so underserved in capitalism because they're rastered in what we call philanthropy, nonprofit space, where I worked for 10 years. And it is just a system of graft, institutional backlogs. It's a bureaucracy that expands to meet its own bureaucratic needs. And as a result, the projects that we need to put the most attention to are failing. We need to preserve the rainforest in an aggressive manner, prevent old growth from being cut down. How do we do it? With fucking money, not with talks. I posted the picture of world leaders throwing pennies behind their backs into Trevi Fountain in Rome for good luck fighting the climate emergency. That's the kind of solutions that institutional philanthropy has for us. Fucking tossing pennies behind their back. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And, this is a real photo, by the way, of the recent summit, and meanwhile, we have these technologies to generate liquidity. And so I'm going to apply them. We're going to apply them. And I invite you to be a part of it. There's a lot of ways to get involved, but I'll leave my contacts for the end. So right now, if we're going to do any of this, we have to learn how DeFi works. So let me share my screen. And I'm just going to take us through a very basic walkthrough of how to use the Avalanche network because it's my favorite. And the same rules apply for every Ethereum virtual machine based network. Let's not confuse us with the best movies of 2021. So the first thing you're going to do, let me pull this out of the way, is at the very outset, this is your Chrome browser. Simple as can be. I use Chrome. I usually use Brave, but I've just found that some of these plugins just work more seamlessly on Chrome. So I just stick with the Google product despite them being part of the alphabet. And so it's, you download the MetaMask extension. Hopefully you've heard of it by now. Pretty important stuff. You get this, you pin it. Don't forget to pin it from your sidebar, because if you don't, it just disappears into the chain, the drop-down menu. So you pin it to your sidebar. And then I'm just going to disconnect from my account so you guys can see what it's like to log in. Let's see if they let me do that. I believe so. You know what? That just makes more work for me. The first thing that I want to do, it's like you're going to end up Trader Joe, not .com. There we are.
Sometimes these new sites have an app dot in front of it, or at least that's what
am I like on? No, I'm on there all the time. Hold on a second. I think it's my internet. Let me see. No. There we are. Just funny for a second. And so this is also a great moment to pop in a little bit of a crypto lesson, which is that be patient with these decentralized application websites. If you think you've clicked something, you've probably clicked it. A lot of errors for beginners come in clicking the button too many times and like canceling the transaction they were trying to put through, or trying to put in a double transaction, getting confused. Just take a deep breath, let it do its thing. Trader Joe, which is the one-stop decentralized trading on Avalanche. So the first time you log in, I'm already connected. I'll verbally explain, and because it's very straightforward. The first time you go on here, you can just click in the top right. It says connect wallet, and then it's going to ask you to sign your wallet and say, yes, I'm good to connect. Great. And then you're going to, it's going to give you another pop-up, and it says, can Trader Joe input the info for Avalanche C chain, which is the cross chain? You just say yes to that. And then at that point, you have the ability both to check out Avalanche on your MetaMask from any site in the world, no problem. And also to interface with Trader Joe. And every D app website or Web3 website that you visit, it's going to do that same handshake. You're going to authorize a lot of transactions. That costs nothing. It's just a handshake. It's not a monetary contract. So once you're here, this is the hub. You can see what's going on. This is how much volume they're doing today on Trader Joe. So they're up over $1 billion of volume in trading. They're pretty important. Avalanche is having an obscene bull run right now. It was $85 this time yesterday or something. Yeah. Which is great. I don't hold it in my wallet because I'm using it. I've transferred probably 40% or so of my portfolio to this Avalanche chain over the last few months, just because it's so much fun to use. I would say it's the best of the Ethereum virtual machine compatible chain, so Solidity chain. And of course, if you've been in on it since the beginning, congratulations, you're a millionaire. It's been one of the single best performing tokens in all of crypto in 2021, which says a lot. So I think at the start of the year it was about $3.40 or something like that. So today we're going to walk through my two favorite applications on Avalanche. The first one that that was my little comment that started this. So here I can just show, here's a little opportunity to show a wallet handshake. I just disconnected from Galaxy Goggle. And so this is what you're going to see when you first go to app.galaxygoggle.com. The mints is irrelevant. It just takes you there. And so Galaxy Goggle is the latest and greatest of the rebase tokens. It's modeled after the Olympus DAO, which is running on Ethereum, and as happens in this very interesting space that we're in, where the best, the blue chip standard of technology is an inoperable network because it has $250 transaction fees, which is what Ethereum is stuck with right now. We have the energy moving to the EVMs. So that means Phantom, Avalanche, Harmony, Celo. There's a few others. But BSC is actually an Ethereum port, the whole Binance chain. They took the Olympus DAO code, which is called OHM and is probably the number 60 or so token in the world. And then they cranked the APYs. They added a couple other things, the big one on Avalanche is called Wonderland, which is also a top 100 coin with close to $1 billion in TVL. But yeah, this one, they're in the APYs of the hundreds of thousands. This one is paying you 100% every 2 days of your investment. So here's the thing.
Can I ask a question about this?
Yeah.
It's a riot, and
yeah, it is. And I'll explain why
it to people. Is it like a little money tree, firstly, and then secondly, like the 17.6 day runway thing? Is it going to go away in 17.6 days?
No. That's if not a single other person bought it. The runway means that if all buy actions stopped right now, they would still be able to provide these APYs for that duration of time, at which time it's not like it would go to zero. It would just be like they would have to adjust down the APY.
Thank you. Good call.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I researched that a few days ago because I was confused about runtime.
Yeah, is this a Ponzi scheme that's going to last for 17 more days? Is the way I was interpreting it.
Right, so as if they would advertise that if they were. No, the rugs are real. You have to be careful. I found this one on the day that it broke 1 million. Now it's at 70 million. So safe to say, I didn't put a lot in. Because again, these are returns that are not real in traditional finance. That's what I don't know that how you say that number out loud. Not even a fucking clue. I'm like several schemas away from being able to mouth that number. Several orders of magnitude. Anyhow, what did I put in? Like $50. Like my yieldings from my more stable farms of that day. I was like, okay, here we go. And what do I have now? 500. When did I do that? About like 6-7 days ago.
10x in 5 days. That is insane.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool because the price hasn't moved. The price stays the same. It's still $80. I bought it at like 78. I'm minting a few more. I got So what all of these networks position themselves as, all these Ohm clones, they call it a decentralized reserve currency. And what it means is that just as a bank has a 10% reserve on their holdings, and that's what they're able to how they can finance all of their products. You mint Galaxy Goggle on the website. It's a crowd loan, if you will. It's a crowd loan bank. And so you give them MIM, say, which is Magic Internet Money, a stable coin that's always pegged to $1, and actually is more accurate than the ones that call themselves USD, whatever, or USDC, or Joe, which is the utility token of the DEX, which hovers around $2.50 or so. And or you make the LP, which is where this is maybe what I'll do just to show you guys, because this is what offers the greatest discount at this moment. Actually, when I minted some new ones a few days ago, so you're helping this product to maintain its 10% reserve, and that's what that runway is, John. When they would breach that threshold if there was no more minting happening.
So for those who are watching, LP means liquidity pool, correct?
It actually means liquidity provider.
Liquidity provider, thank you.
So you're a liquidity provider, and it's a liquidity provider token. So awesome. You have an LP token, a liquidity provider token, and it comes. So you get it
at a discount. You know what I mean? Basically like a 20% discount from the
traditional price. Because you're giving them dollars.
Cool.
And so that's the model. Decentralized reserve currency. It has a deflationary pressure on its price with an inflationary pressure on its spread and its TVL. And so as long as the rise of the token outpaces the deflationary pressure on the token's price, then all investors are killing it. Because the price holds steady and you make 200% a day. I just want to show you guys. So stake is where you end up. I've got six and a half of these babies staked. In 6 hours and 38 minutes, they're going to pay me another $30 on it. Then I'll have close to 7. And I have some MIM tokens that are minting right now. I could redeem this right now if I want to. In fact, I won't, because it just costs me transaction fees and a little impatience, But what you would do I have another 3 days or so. I love that number, by the way. Fuck me. 2 days, 20 hours, 20 minutes. Cool. And so I was able to mint these guys at like $50. The day I minted, it was just, it's a moving target, and it's coded, to be that way.
Quick question from Sean. You know what I mean? Quick question from Sean. So he was first wondering MetaMask, which you already mentioned, and is AVAX is Avalanche a level 2 network, or it's its own thing? Correct.
This is a product that's built on Avalanche.
So Avalanche is a I know the answer to this question, Sam. I'm trying to get it for the audience. So he's asking if it's a level 2, which is like Polygon. And this is more of a third generation chain.
EVMs are layer 1s. They're basically Ethereum clones. They run on the same programming language. They do all the same things Ethereum does, but they're a separate network. They're not connected to Ethereum. And the Avalanche gas fees for your average transaction will be 15 cents if the network is super clogged, and about 6 cents if you time it right when the network is at a low volume.
Excellent.
And that is regardless of the amount of Avalanche being sent. So this is just a much more functional product than Ethereum.
Thank you.
Why it's gone from, to having close to 60 billion or something locked in its market after today's bull run, from zero at the start of the year, because developers see it, they understand the value proposition, and they're building amazing applications on it. So this is one of them. It's not a Ponzi scheme. It's a technology that I would only recommend for short-term, medium-term play, and just close monitoring, because it is what it is. They call them rebase tokens, and the deflationary pressure is real. If don't invest in Wonderland right now. It's been eating shit. It's down 20% in the last 24 hours while Avalanche is way up. But these things, you get them while they're hot. And more than anything, what I'd like to emphasize in this call is that the alpha value of learning how to use these technologies really outpaces any of the short-term gains. What I'm learning here, yes, it's making me $500. Great. It's gaining me invaluable, $50,000 worth of experience that will then be applicable in 2022, 2023, and beyond. And
Well said.
we're still ahead of the curve here, guys. I would say how many, there's 50 million crypto investors on Earth. There's 5 million of them who know what the decentralized web is doing. And of those, there's probably 500,000 to 1 million who are able to actually operate with a degree of savvy in Web3, use the low cost alternatives, not get caught in schemes, and manage their portfolios well so that they're able to make the really amazing returns that are lurking in the corners, for crypto investors.
So can I explore that a little bit, because it's great.
Yeah,
What I guess the difference between a scheme here is this is a experiment. It's a
technology
high
that's
yield
proven by 40 billion, or rather $4 billion of value. Like the Rebase tokens, Olympus DAO launched in May.
Yep.
It's a new kind of code. It's a new idea of what they call the decentralized reserve currency, and it's run by collectives. They're all DAOs. This is Galaxy Goggle DAO. There's no founders getting paid here. It's sure there's people with a ton of tokens, but they just decided to put their portfolio to go 100% in on this kind of shit.
So one other thing I wanted to note, because I love this.
Yeah.
This has been so nourishing, and we have to go wrap it up pretty soon. But one of the things for people that don't know, what separates decentralized finance from traditional finance is all the code is available in open source. So when Sam says it's a clone, you can basically fork existing code of another network and try your own version of it, and then tweak the little, in this case, they tweak the API.
Clima is also an Olympus fork on Ethereum.
Claim it out. The best play currently in blockchain freakology, which pushed the price of carbon up 30% in just 2 months of operation, by minting these basic carbon tons, and burning some crappy carbon instruments and getting them off the marketplace, basically. So I love that. I did not know that. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, they're an Olympus DAO fork as well. And
excellent.
And so they are using the same technology. They're at, I think, over 60 million, probably a lot more actually. I think over 200 million in TVL. And again, same deflationary pressures working on on that project. And so these are the kind of ones to watch closely. The reason we're on Galaxy Goggle is because it's the best right now. Will it still be the best in February? Maybe not, but you'll have profited by learning how to use it in the meantime. What I want to flip to now is a product that does not get a lot of attention and is just a game changer. It's called Blizzard. I found out about them because I research decentralized security, and when hacks happen, I stay abreast of the news. And these guys got exploited by one of their own undoxed devs, and he drained a pool. So they have these retired Vault 1s that's retired because some guy stole like 500 grand out of it. At the time, Blizzard was trading at $28. It crashed all the way down. The dev team, I started following them then. I was like, what's going to happen? I didn't even know really what they were doing. And they proved themselves to be the real deal. And they have the best yield farm possibly in crypto. There's only 2,750,000 TV, market cap, whatever, 2.7 million TVL. That's up a lot today. It's up almost 30%. And it travels with Avalanche. So as Avalanche goes Blizz. And so in this vault, when you make LP tokens, which you do on Trader Joe, it's paying you 1,200%, which means 100% a month. This is not APY, by the way. This is APR. It's very different. The APY is you're accounting for the auto compounding rewards, which really just when in practice it eats it up. APR is something very different. It means that a month from today, I will have at least this. If the price goes up, I'll have a lot more than this. But if the price goes up, I'll have this much in tokens, or if this price stays the same. If the price goes down by half, I'll still have been given $1,900 in tokens just for having my stuff in the vault. So this is the best product. I'm not going to go too far into it. Just suffice to say, if you want to learn how to use it, I'll walk you through. They're a great group of guys, pretty international, some in Europe, some in Singapore. And they've done something pretty remarkable. And my investments here are paying me north of $150 a day on several $1,000s of investment. And you do it on Trader Joe. It's, I can spare you the trouble, basically. What I really want to close on is another emphasis that what we have right now in DeFi, as we are starting to call it DeFi 2.0, are a suite of products that are utilizing novel financial technologies to open up opportunities for teams and communities all around the world. But we're really just at the beginning. Like, if you just put your time and invest in the learning, in gaining alpha, and find the projects that light you up. They're not going to be necessarily the same that light me up, and they're not. It doesn't matter ultimately if if you make 14x on your investment or 12x. Like, people are doing well. If you position yourself correctly, you will too. It's not a competition. It's kind of like a new economy that can be far more equitable, far more engaging and fun and approachable, and is about cooperation, collaboration, and mutuality in a way that I don't think we've really had the ability to access up until this point. So get at me. I'm Samuel on Facebook. Just break my name into two, Samuel. Here's a cool one. I'm super stoked about BitClout rebranding to DeSo, decentralized social. Because I have a whole channel for astrology and crypto stuff, and I've been looking for the decentralized social network. I've probably asked you about it, John. I'm like, where is it? Odyssey, what's that old one? Like all these broken proof of work chains that are just not fun to use. And they've done it. They got listed on Coinbase yesterday. They're up 70% today or some 50% today. And have sold $50 million in WESO token. Cracked the top 150 already. And so, yeah, I got on there. And if you want to see me, I believe I'm at, I'll get you the address. We'll include it in the comments. But yeah, we can start migrating as of pretty much today to decentralized social media and get paid for our content creation, network with leaders and thought leaders in the space. Because again, we're those of us who are moving, choose to move in this direction and dedicate to learning and not just trying to get rich. We are going to, move some mountains together in the coming years. So I look forward to doing it with you all.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, so DeFi Network, DEPHI, NETWORK is Samu's both your Instagram. No, your Instagram is something different, but that's your Telegram for sure.
Yeah. Telegram, DeFi.network in development. I'll have a little sample app up by January, and more just a preview site. But if you want to get involved, yeah, you can also DeFiNetwork@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's it. Stay in touch with you, no question. Yeah. And you use Samu as a resource because this technology is meant for a lot of us to have competence and take action together. So what we spoke about today and the building blocks we're trying to give you is we're trying to give you the opportunity to join us as peers and create peer-to-peer find peer-to-peer opportunity. And then there's even more opportunity to create fun and engaging initiatives and things that Samu and I will have at the docket for coming down the pipeline. Yeah,
can't wait to hear more about what's next for you with the Restore-A-Thon. And what an awesome journey it's been, bro. Appreciate you.
Saying thanks. Thank you for sharing with the community, for giving us this opportunity.
Absolutely. And I'll make sure to push it far and wide, and we'll get this talk live on DSO.
Hell yeah.
All right, man. Ciao.
See ya.